let you guys lead it off.
Day off you get, and how they look today, and what was kind of the idea after the win the night?
We want to have a better game than we had the last game. It was very competitive in the fourth quarter. We had to find a way to scrap and claw just to get that victory, as we always have to, typically against Chicago. But we left that game feeling we could have played better. And more of it was an attention to detail and a focus and a discipline. And we're looking to hopefully bring that tomorrow.
If you had your druthers, Spo, would you rather be playing tonight?
Yeah, everybody would, but that's not the case, so we deal with it. We've dealt with virtually every type of circumstance before. We've dealt with game threes where it's 2 days off before the last game. That's why yesterday was a day off, let our minds clear, but today was back into the grind. And get back into the focus of a tough competitive series that this is.
Erik, does it bother you at all that when people try to put thoughts out there as far as trying to, with the officiating and how things are called or not called, to open other people's eyes? Does that concern you at all?
We've seen everything. None of this is new to us. Right. Nobody can hide from the fact the games will be decided between those four lines.
Erik,
our guys understand that.
You scored half the points in the paint that you did in Game 2. Does the team need to attack more in Game 4?
More efficiently. They did a good job keeping us out of the paint. We only had 28 in the paint. Our ratio of our attacks to our jumpers was not in our normal success ratio, but they stepped up their defense, and we have to do a better job with our spacing and getting into our offense earlier. All the details and those disciplined focus areas that we talked about, we have to do a better job of that.
Erik, other than the effort, was there something you saw with Bosch as you watched the tape in terms of how he ended up?
He was committed to giving us a presence under the rim, and he knows he can't relax, and all of our bigs for that matter, and our perimeter players, when they come down and sink, you can't relax for one count. Against their bigs, and in particular with Noah, because he'll be going every single time, and he just needs that little bit of advantage. But Chris brought a very aggressive disposition.
You played him with Anderson a little bit for a stretch. I know you've done that at times.
Yeah, we've done that before.
Did you like what you saw of it?
Yes, and that's always available, and it'll depend on the game. Shane got in foul trouble. It forced Chris to only get about a minute and a half of rest in the second half.
Erik, Dwayne took one shot in the first half, and it was 4-6 in the second half. Just talk about what was the difference in him in the two.
He's showing great maturity in the series. That when you play a defensive team like this, you don't know who's going to get the open look. You have to be aggressive and force an action, and then the ball has to move, and everybody else becomes a recipient of that. So he oftentimes started that chain reaction for us, but he was unselfish enough and poised enough to move the ball, and now our point guards, Norris and Mario, became recipients, and they were able to put the ball on the floor off a secondary action. If Dwayne is coming in here trying to score 40 a night, that doesn't allow those things to happen. But he is also aggressive enough that if you let up a count on your coverage, he's going to make you pay for that. And you just don't know. Each game could be different. So the next game, his attacks might be the ones that are getting us to the rim and getting us into the paint. But I think he's reading this series very, very intelligently.
Did he practice fully today?
Yeah.
So how much of that is the way, like you said, reading the defense and playing, and how the offense is bringing things to him, and also just how much
it takes an incredible amount of trust, because we can run our play calls, but anybody can be the playmaker, and the ball will move, and whoever's open, that will be the right play. But it takes a group of guys that are playing for the right reasons, not playing for numbers, not playing for stats, but playing for the win. To allow that to happen. We feel we can get the looks that we want if we're doing it together and we're playing with a team ego. And still there's areas we could have done better in that game. We didn't get enough attacks.
Eric, you have a moment like when Chris had with Mario, right in front of Noah, when he's admonishing him on the court in view of everyone. Does that bother you, or does that just show the passion of a player with his teammate at the moment to get something rectified right away?
Which part? Him or us? I love it when our guys. We had about 3 or 4 huddles. Those of you who cover us closely, those are called Miami Heat huddles. Miami Heat exchanges, Miami Heat dialogue. I get much more concerned when our dialogue is not passionate, or we don't have dialogue, or our dialogue is at the wrong 3 people.
Are you concerned at all the impact it might have on someone? I know Mario's as strong as anyone. Or
that was healthy conversation. Okay. It was very demonstrative and animated, but it was very specific and detailed to our spacing. I actually very much like that dialogue.
How do you feel when a opposing coach basically calls out one of your players for flopping? I mean, that becomes
I don't care.
Does it bother you at all?
I don't spend a lot of time thinking about what Tom is saying. I don't. This game, this series, will be decided between those 4 lines, and no one can deny that.
Eric, you guys have managed to, when there have been a couple incidents in games, they've stayed off the bench. They haven't run out. Do you have to remind them before a game just to stay disciplined?
Our guys are here to win a basketball game and win a series.
Can you talk about the advantage you get with Dwayne Wade in his post-up game and that adjustment?
And to that point, we've faced everything. So we've been under these situations where it's just about the game. Dwayne, that's one of his biggest weapons for us. Is playing inside out in the post. We're an inverted post-up team where we post our perimeter players up more than our bigs. So he was able to break free for a handful of those in the second half, and the game and their defense will dictate if he gets more of those.